How can noise disturb the message? Understand the noise. Noise is not only soundy or it is not only phony. It can be a quite anything that disturbs your talk. You to listen someone, you to get meaning out of someone's talk. That is called noise. Simply you should understand. Anything that disturbs your communication, anything that disturbs the to decode or encode the message, that is a noise. Noise is a disturbing element. You should understand that. It is not forces you not to understand things easily. It can be your mind. If you don't want to listen to someone, if your mind is not ready to receive anything, that will disturb you and you will not want to communicate with the person. If the sounds are around you, sound is around you, then what happens that you are not able to listen. If people are crying in between them, somebody tries to talk you or communicate you are not able to listen. So noise, in that way, noise disturbs the message. How will you apply this class in your engineering courses? Means how do you apply it?
So, as an architect, there are going to be many occasions when we have to convey our designs and the concept behind our designs to the clients. So, it is very important to know how to communicate, with whom to communicate, who is the appropriate client, and what to communicate with them. So, it's very important. So, as a student, there are going to be juries, and we have to, our teachers or the faculty members are going to be our clients. So, like the way you are, like right now, you are my client, and I have to convince you that how can I explain better to you?
How do you apply this knowledge, the knowledge of communication, grammar, linguistics, communication process, etc., whatever you are being taught in this class, right? How do you apply this knowledge to?
So first we learn it exactly, then we can apply it.
I think that mostly in our hardcore subject, we explain it by our designs and by our pencils and papers. But most of the time, if we get chances to explain it by our presentation, so I think the communication helps there.
So if we are using an effective communication, our postures and our gestures while we communicate and the way we communicate is surely going to put an impact on others, on our teachers and all the jury, whoever is going to watch us while we communicate. And that's the thing that for putting an impact, for making an impression.
Fine. One more answer. I need you are
So,
right.
by effective communication, we will be able to communicate with our teachers, and where we will be lacking, they will also be able to tell us where we are lacking and where what are mistakes we have done. It will be a proper communication. By communication, we will be able to explain them and even be able to understand what they are trying to tell us.
Very right. In examination, whenever you get a copy and pen, you should apply that. This is very, very, very important. First, in examination, be it written examination or practical viva voce, most of you communicate. But why? So first, you have to use this knowledge in your classrooms. Okay, whenever you got opportunity to present your idea, you should remember the disciplines, you should remember the prerequisites, you should take care of the requirements of the basic communication or human communication. Second is, as a student, you can apply this in your examination. And since this is a language class, whatever is being taught to you, you can apply that. For example, if I am teaching you article and you learn, you complete the course, you got 90% in this course and you are not able to apply the basic principles of articles, right, basic principles of grammar, then it is futile exercise. The people complain that students do not know how to write an application. So there, whenever you get chance, you should take care of what has been taught to you in communication class, and you should pause for some time and you should think about the format of application, how to write an application, where to put the date, where to put the subject, how to put the subjects, right, and what are the basic principles of writing an application. These things should be taken care in these ways only. Okay, as a student, in these ways you will be able to apply the knowledge of communication course, communication subject taught to you in your engineering field. Or being an engineer, you will get chance to present your design there. The word which I use, convincing, the word convincing, So the communication should be effective in a form called effective communication, means convincing communication. Effective communication means not to speak fluently in any language, but effective means to convince. How do you convince people through your communication? How do you attract the market, the people, demanding people? Okay, professional. So these are the areas where you can apply this course, which I am you are talking of or we are learning. Okay, with these small things that I wanted to discuss, do not be a passive listener, please. Don't be passive listener. There are two kinds of listeners, the active listeners and passive listeners. Passive listeners are those who do not have any feedback, who do not have any response. Active listeners are those listeners who have some ideas to share after in the form of feedback. Okay, so please be active listener, at least in this class, professional communication class. You should be more free to communicate. Don't be passive listener, please. So rather I should use the word request you all not to be passive listener. Please be active listener. Have some ideas. Speak about things you have in your mind when I question. Don't say, sir, no idea. If somebody is speaking to you for 1 hour on a particular topic, and when he is or she is asking you to respond, you say, sir, no idea.